Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear student, Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to talk about the preoperative preparation of surgical patients, and I'm going to talk about what is preoperative preparation, how do we do the preoperative care, what are the preoperative investigation, and what are the assessment that we need to do preoperatively, and how can we prepare patient for surgery who have some specific ailments. And then we need to take the consent of the patient, and what are the guidelines, nice guidelines to for preoperative preparation, and what is the preoperative nursing care. Preoperative evaluation helps the surgeon, not only surgeon but patient as well. How does it help the patient? It helps the patient carefully assess the medical condition of the patient, evaluate the patient overall health status, determine the risk factor against the procedures, and then we can educate the patient. But it helps the patient as well. The patient gain a realistic understanding of what is going to happen with him, and also the surgeon make him realize the possible complication during preoperative period, and you can address what are his desires and what he thinks would happen after surgery. अच्छा, ये before surgical intervention, it is imperative that we optimize the patient according to the comorbidities. A patient को अगर hypertension है, diabetes है, ischemic heart disease है, cardiac failure है, or some other thing, if we have not optimized it, the outcome of the surgery is going to be not the desired one. So the extent of preoperative preparation, it depends upon the nature of surgery and what are the available facilities that we have. So for that we need to know कि हम कौन से पेशेंट्स का जो है वो प्रीऑपरेटिव प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं, सिचुएशन क्या है. So in surgery there are 5 situations to operate. Number 1 is it is emergency, that if we don't do, patient is going to die. Then there is urgent need of surgery. In that we buy some time, we have some time like 24 hours to 48 hours. And then there are conditions where patient require surgery, but if you don't do it immediately, it is not life-threatening. Then there is elective surgery, then the patient is carrying a disease which is not life-threatening and which might not be giving him symptom at the moment, but we need to operate on it, and for that we have time, like maybe week, 10 days, 2 weeks, and then optional surgery, that if we don't do surgery, nothing is going to happen. It is the will of the patient wants it, like cosmetic surgery जो है उसमें अगर आप कुछ नहीं करेंगे तो nothing is going to happen, but it is patient wants it. So जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि सर्जरी को हम क्लासिफाई करते हैं इन एमरजेंट सर्जरी. Immediate attention, patient requires immediate attention, because if we don't attend the patient immediately, he's going to die without delay. So surgery is indicated without delay. Like patient is having severe bleeding, patient has a road traffic accident, patient has gunshot wound, patient has stab wound, he's bleeding. So we need to act immediately. So all the emergency surgery that we perform is life-threatening surgery. That's why it is called emergency surgery. Or then the second class is it is urgent, imperative. Patient requires prompt attention, but uh, we can wait. We can prepare the patient for 24 to 30 hours, and we can then perform something. It is like, patient has come to you with biliary colic, or a patient has come to you with inguinal hernia, which is obstructed but not strangulated. So we can prepare the patient, but it's not that we had to do it immediately. So we can wait for 24 to 30 hours. Then is the class where patient requires surgery. So we can plan that within few weeks to months, like cataract surgery hai, like thyroid surgery hai, which is benign thyroid diseases hai, fibroadenoma breast का है, patient has inguinal hernia where he needs surgery, but at the moment it is not an urgency. And then there is elective surgery where we can prepare the patient. So we prepare the patient, and there are weeks to months that we have at our disposal to prepare the patient. It is like asymptomatic gallstones. Patient has a scar and needs surgery. Patient has a vaginal repair. Patient has fistula. We can prepare that, and patient can wait for surgery. And then is patient needs to have surgery on personal preference. So that is cosmetic surgery where rhinoplasty करनी है, आपने लिप रिपेयर करनी है, आपने लिप फेस लिफ्ट करना है, patient needs liposuction, patient needs tummy tuck. So these are the surgery that are patient's personal preferences. So what is the rationale of preoperative preparation? The rationale behind it is that we need to know the anticipated difficulties, and we need to prepare ourselves, and we need to organize ourselves, and we need to arrange facilities, we need to arrange equipments, and we need to arrange expertise wherever required. So this will lead to better outcome. It will lead to enhanced patient safety, and it will lead to minimum errors. And then it will relieve any fear or anxiety in the patient if we tell them clearly what we are going to do, and we prepare him well. What is the routine preparation of for surgery? So, as with any other case, we need to take good history. We need to do physical examination. We need to investigate the patient. Surgery may another terms come, that is informed consent, because you are going to put scar on the patient. So you need to take informed consent, and then you need to mark the area for operation. And after surgery, patient need to take rest for some time, and then there are chances of thrombosis. So thromboembolic prophylaxis is a must. And then when we when we use knife and cut the skin, then there are chances of infection. So prophylactic antibiotic needs to be given. So what are the points in the history that are important when we are preparing the patient for surgery? We need to take the surgical history of the patient. Patient has undergone any surgery before. And second, presenting complaint of the patient will dictate कि ये emergency है कि नहीं है. अब पेशेंट एक हर्निया के साथ है, आपको पता है उसको हर्निया, यू नो, एंड द पेशेंट सेज दैट देयर इज अ स्वेलिंग इन द इंग्वानल एरिया, अगर तो उसमें इरिड्यूसिबिलिटी हो गया, उसमें पेन होनी शुरू हो गया, एंड पेशेंट हैज़ डिस्टेंडेड abdomen एंड पेशेंट इज नॉट passing flatus and feces, so this is an emergency. So by just listening to the presenting complaint, we can decide whether the patient needs emergency surgery, urgent surgery, or need elective intervention. Then in history, we need to systemically assess the patient. We need to know पेशेंट के लंग्स कैसे हैं, पेशेंट का हार्ट कैसा है, पेशेंट का CNS स्टेटस कैसा है, पेशेंट की फिजिकल कंडीशन कैसी है. सो ऑल दिस इन द हिस्ट्री विल हेल्प यू टू नो what is your diagnosis and how you need to prepare it. Then the past medical history and surgical history, as I previously told you, will tell you whether patient might have bleeding tendency and patient might have allergic reaction to any anesthetic agent. Drug history is very important. Allergy history is very important. Certain drugs, they interact with anesthetic agents. So we need to know that a patient might have that and we need to document it. Sudden आपने steroid withdrawal नहीं करने. Whether the patient is diabetic, hypertension, ischemic heart disease, what are the drugs he is taking, whether the patient is on anticoagulation or not. Family history patient की भी important है, whether the patient family history सर्जरी की थी, सेम डिजीज़ की थी, पेशेंट फैमिली हिस्ट्री माइट बी ऑफ malignant hyperthermia, patient might have pseudocholinesterase deficiency, patient might have bleeding disorders. Then patient socioeconomic status we need to know, because he is to undergo surgery or surgery की certain requirement है, whether he can afford it or not, whether patient is smoker or not, whether he is short-term smoker, long-term smoker, whether patient is alcoholic or not. So ये सारी चीज़ें we need to know. Then after history, you need to physically examine the patient. Remember, what mind does not know, eyes cannot see. So जो आपके दिमाग में नहीं होगा वो आपको नज़र नहीं आएगा. So always remember, a good physical examination means good general examination, good cardiac examination, respiratory examination, abdominal examination, CNS examination, peripheral vascular examination, local examination, body orifices, they all need to be done. At times we have tunnel view. पता चलता है कि the patient जो है उसको हर्निया है. So everybody knows, you sit in your room and start writing down the history, hernia history, typical history, and you fail to see whether the testes are lying in the scrotum or not, whether patient has hydrocele or not, whether the hernia is obstructed or not. So a complete physical examination is must, and you cannot replace a good physical examination with anything else. लेकिन ये इलेक्टिव केसेस में है. जो एमरजेंसी केसेस में है उसमें आपने वो ABCDE. So you need to see the airways, you need to see the breathing, you need to see the circulation, you need deformities, you need to see the extremities. And after some time you need to do a secondary survey from head to toe, and then you need to refer the patient through triage, whether वहाँ से आपको पता चलेगा whether it is an emergency, whether it is an urgent case, whether it is an elective case, whether it is a cosmetic. So whatever. So a good physical examination in the emergency is very important. And then investigation. why we need to do the investigation? Investigation we do to confirm our diagnosis and to exclude any alternate diagnosis and to know the extent of the disease and to know the assessment fitness of for surgery, and we need to know patient is at risk or not, or the operating surgeon might be at risk. Patient might be hep C positive, and nowadays patient might be COVID positive. So अगर आपने pre-operative investigation नहीं की हुई, so you land yourself in disaster. And then the medical legal aspect to the pre-operative investigation is there. Patient drug लेके आया, overdose हुआ हुआ. So अगर आपने उसको medical legal aspect नहीं दिया, then you land yourself in trouble. अच्छा, routinely हम कौन से टेस्ट जो प्री ऑपरेटिव कराते हैं, CBC करवाते हैं, जिसमें हमें RBCs पता चलते हैं, हीमोग्लोबिन पता चलते हैं, हेमाटोक्रेट पता चलते हैं. सो वी नो द ऑक्सीजन कैरिंग कैपेसिटी ऑफ द ब्लड. WBCs देखते हैं, इंडिकेटर ऑफ इम्यून फंक्शन ऑफ द पेशेंट. ब्लड ग्रुपिंग कर सकते हैं, क्रॉस मैचिंग कर सकते हैं, सीरम इलेक्ट्रोलाइट देखते हैं, PTA PTT देखते हैं, फास्टिंग ब्लड ग्लूकोज देखते हैं. किडनी का फंक्शन के लिए हम यूरिया क्रेटिनिन करवाते हैं. लिवर फंक्शन के लिए हम ELT AST अल्कलाइन फास्फेट बिलिरुबिन करवाते हैं. न्यूट्रिशनल स्टेटस देखने के लिए वी नीड टू नो द सीरम एल्ब्यूमिन and then to determine whether the patient might have some infective focus in the urine, we do the urine analysis. Then to assess the function of the lung, we do chest x-ray, the cardiac status checked by ECG. But does everybody require all these investigation? For that, NICE guidelines for pre-operative investigation came out. NICE is National Institute for Health Care Excellence, NHS ने बनाया हुआ है. तो वो कहते हैं कि जी सर्जरी को ग्रेड जो होता है सर्जरी का, उससे डिटरमिन होता है हमने क्या इन्वेस्टिगेशन करवानी है. और देन इट इज़ कपल्ड विद द ASA स्टेटस ऑफ ASA. What is ASA status? ASA status is the anesthesia assessment station. This is American Society of Anesthesiologists, जो कि पेशेंट को ग्रेड 1 ASA 1 2 3 4 5 में डिपेंडिंग अपॉन हिज फिजिकल कंडीशन और कोमॉर्बिडिटीज उसको करते हैं. और फिर सर्जरी के ग्रेड देखते हैं, वेदर इट इज़ माइनर सर्जरी, वेदर इट इज़ इंटरमीडिएट सर्जरी, वेदर इट इज़ मेजर सर्जरी, वेदर इट इज़ वेरी मेजर सर्जरी और कॉम्प्लेक्स सर्जरी. सो उसके मुताबिक आपको इन्वेस्टिगेशन एडवाइस करनी होती है. सो these surgery along with ASA grade will determine कि कौन सी हमने इन्वेस्टिगेशन करते हैं. ASA 1 is a normal healthy patient. ASA 2 is a patient with mild systemic disease. ASA 3 is a patient with severe systemic disease. A patient with severe systemic disease that is constant threat to the life, उसको ongoing ischemia हो रहा है, तो ASA 4 हो रहेगा. So ASA will determine the mortality and morbidity of the patient. ASA 1 है तो mortality is 0.06, और अगर ASA 4 और 5 है so इसका मतलब है mortality could be more than 51%. और ASA 5 पेशेंट को वो पेशेंट होते हैं जिसमें इतनी ज़्यादा कोमॉर्बिडिटीज़ हैं, इतना पेशेंट अनस्टेबल है that it is not expected to survive 24 hours with or without surgery. So अगर ASA 1 है, ASA 2 है या ASA 3 है और माइनर सर्जरी करनी है, लम्स एंड बम्स रिमूव करने हैं, लोकल में सर्जरी हो रही है, तो यू डोंट रिक्वायर एनी इन्वेस्टिगेशन, राइट. अच्छा जी, फिर इंटरमीडिएट सर्जरी है जो कि मोस्टली इलेक्टिव सर्जरीज जो होती हैं, तो उसमें भी अगर ASA 1 ASA 2 है तो रूटीनली आपको कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन नहीं चाहिए होती. But ESA3 and ESA4, where the patient has bit of comorbidities, उसमें आपको certain investigation जो है वो चाहिए होते हैं. अगर पेशेंट का जो है वो इंटरमीडिएट सर्जरी है, माइनर नहीं है, इंटरमीडिएट सर्जरी है, तो किडनी फंक्शन टेस्ट आपको लाजमी चाहिए. आपको रीनल स्टेटस देखना है पेशेंट का हार्ट देखना है एंड पेशेंट का लंग देखना है. तो इन 3 चीज़ों को आपने टारगेट करना है. बट इफ़ द पेशेंट इज़ अंडरगोइंग ए मेजर सर्जरी, सो ESA1 और ESA2 में फिर भी आपको रूटीनली कोई ख़ास इन्वेस्टिगेशन नहीं चाहिए होती. बट ESA3 and 4 will require all kind of investigation, which include up to lung function test and arterial blood cases. What about preparation, preoperative preparation or preoperative assessment of ladies, particularly those ladies who are of childbearing age, whether there is possibility of getting pregnancy, whether they are married or unmarried. Make sure childbearing age की जो female है are aware of the risk of anesthesia if they are pregnant. So you need to document all the discussion with the woman to carry out or not carry out pregnancy test. But remember, we will only carry out pregnancy test with the consent of the female. And what about patients who are diabetic or whom we think they are diabetic? Hemoglobin A1C, we will carry out hemoglobin A1C in those patients whom we don't have the record. They are known diabetic, but we don't have the record of the last 3 months. So we will go for hemoglobin A1C. But if they are not known diabetic, so we will only do blood sugar random. And if it is high, then we will go for hemoglobin A1C. Urine test, routinely we don't require that, but if there is suspicion of infection, then we need to do microscopy and culture sensitivity, a midstream sample of the urine. Cardiac status with echocardiography. If the patient has any cardiac symptom, only then we will go for cardiac echocardiography. Patient has heart murmur, sign and symptom of heart failure, only then. So routinely we don't require echocardiography. Thromboembolic prophylaxis की मैंने बात की थी. इलास्टिक कंप्रेशन स्टॉकिंग पेशेंट को बताने चाहिए प्री ऑपरेटिवली कैसे यूज़ करने हैं. इंटरमीडिएट न्यूमेटिक कंप्रेशन उनको बतानी चाहिए. पोस्ट ऑपरेटिव अर्ली एम्बुलेशन करनी चाहिए पेशेंट की. हेपरिन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन करनी चाहिए. एंड व्हाट अबाउट एंटीबायोटिक प्रोफिलैक्सिस? So antibiotic depends upon the class of operative procedure. So there are 4 types of procedures that we do. One is clean contaminated, and dirty. So clean operations are patient where there is just a skin breach and no organ is open and there is no infection. Clean contaminated, where we open an organ like cholecystectomy. Cholecystectomy is clean operation until we remove the gallbladder by opening the lumen. Then contaminated, that there is already contamination there, perforation, empyema of gallbladder, acute appendicitis, amoebic typhlitis, and then there is contaminated or dirty, where is already viscera is perforated and there is pus. So antibiotic prophylaxis in clean cases is not required. In clean contaminated cases, only single dose. And in contaminated and dirty cases, we require both aerobic and anaerobic cover. Okay. Then preoperatively हर वार्ड का अपना प्रोटोकॉल है. They would give you a questionnaire which will mention all the things you need to do preoperatively before sending the patient to the theatre. Then what is the responsibility of nurses? So little bit about the nursing care, because if our nursing care is not good preoperatively, so desired result cannot come. So nurses need to educate the patient in incentive spirometry. They need to educate them with diaphragmatic breathing, like deep breathe and come out. Coughing, splinting, turning, so that they don't lie straight. They lie on one side or two sides, so that secretion doesn't go down and they don't have atelectasis. They need to move in the bed, do foot exercises, leg exercises, and they need to be told for early ambulance, early ambulation of the patient. Incentive spirometer, what it does is there is a spirometer which you take into your mouth and take a deep breath, and it is attached to a device which contains 3 balls. So when you take a deep breath, the balls goes up. When you hold them, the whole 3 balls goes up. So you need to do this 12 times per hour to prevent atelectasis and other pulmonary complication. क्योंकि पेशेंट को जीए मिलता है तो उसकी जो सबसे ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेशन होती है वो लंग की कॉम्प्लिकेशन होती है. देन यू नीड टू मेक द पेशेंट टू टेक डीप ब्रेथ्स. उनको ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइज बतानी, ये नर्सों का काम है. पेशेंट को कहना है डीप ब्रेथ लें, होल्ड करें 5 सेकेंड एंड देन ब्रीथ आउट. व्हाट विल हैपन? द लंग विल एक्सपैंड, and you need to do this exercise 50 times each hour. 15-15 मिनट के लिए करें और फिर रेस्ट लें. टर्न करना है. By turning, it promotes removal of chest secretions, and you ask the patient to lean forward slightly while sitting in the bed. So secretion जो है उसकी बाहर आएंगे. इस तरह बैठेगा तो secretion नहीं आएंगे. And tell them how to use the diaphragm. लंबा सांस लेंगे. ठीक है. Then nurses need to do the preoperative preparation for skin preparation. Full bath patient को लेना at the night of operation. You need to shave the area, and you don't need knife to shave the area. You need electric clipper, and it should be done 1 to 2 hours before surgery. Then patient has to be NPO, nothing per oral, and nurse need to give enema if ordered. He has to tell the patient to avoid alcohol, cigarette smoking for at least 24 hours before surgery. And at the night of surgery, patient should have good rest and sleep before surgery, and you can administer sedative for that. For NPO का क्या मतलब है? नथिंग पर ओरल, और क्या क्या चीज़ें कितनी देर के लिए छोड़नी पड़ती हैं बिफोर सर्जरी. अगर लोकल एनेस्थीसिया में तो फिर आपको ज़रूरत नहीं है, लेकिन अगर जनरल एनेस्थीसिया है तो क्लियर लिक्विड अप टू 2 आवर्स आप ले सकते हैं. ब्रेस्ट मिल्क 4 आवर्स तक ले सकते हैं. नॉन ह्यूमन मिल्क 6 आवर्स, लाइट मील 6 आवर्स, और रेगुलर हैवी मील एटलीस्ट 8 आवर्स बिफोर द सर्जरी. Then on the day of surgery, nurses need to provide clean gown, remove hairpins, braid long hairs, cover the hair with cap, remove dentures, jewelry, contact lenses, hearing aids, take baseline vitals, document it, check the identity band of the patient, check the skin preparation, check whether the patient is properly nothing per oral or not, चेक फॉर स्पेशल ऑर्डर्स। अगर कहा गया है पेशेंट को अनीमा देना तो चेक करेगी नर्स के वो अनीमा दिया गया कि नहीं, और कोशिश करेगी patient has voided before surgery, so that just before shifting to the table patient says I need to go to the washroom. It's not good. So that's all for today. Next time we are going to talk about the perioperative preparation of the patient. I hope this lecture will help you to understand the preoperative preparation of the patient. Thank you very much.